WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And today is something not that rare, not that exotic, but it's new. Royal Brackla 12. Ralphie already did his review on it. 85 points. So this was something that was bottled on the 12th of April 2021. Whiskybase number 187279. 50 euros over here. In Germany, in the UK, it goes for around 60 pounds. And in Paris, for 65 euros by La Maison de Whisky. So, interesting enough, if you look at this color, it is dark. Yeah, I mean, come on, wow. So the old Royal Brackla was actually 12-year-old, 40%, also matured in sherry oloroso casks. Only a finish, just like this, and the old version had about 80 points by Whiskybase. Now I have 85 points by Whiskybase. Now, I like it. I think it's very, very good that we have the 46%, the non-chilled filtered, the natural colors on the label. This brand belongs to Bacardi, so very, very good. And I think Dewar's and Bacardis are doing very, very good stuff. This is Stephanie Mado. Sorry, I need to research her name again. I've seen her in a few different streams by the Whiskey Podcast. That's not what it's called. Cask Strength Conversations here. That is a very, very Mark Gillespie, and Stephanie was there a few times. Beautiful, beautiful product she's putting out, and a lot of experimentation. So I'm going to first of all compare it to a Glenfarclas 12-year-old. So I get this, and this is the 1 liter bottle over here, for about 35 euros, and this is 50 euros. That's why I have a little bit of problem with the price here. Maybe I have been comparing it too often to other things, maybe for example Glenfarclas. And if I want, I could pull out a Glendronach 12 to see if it's a little bit closer here. So they are, this is of course Highland, this is Highland, and it's matured exclusively also at Oloroso sherry butts. So I think it's only fair, even though this would be much, much darker. So that's always the question. This is basically full maturation. It could be in second or third or even fourth fill butts. You never know, maybe even a first fill thrown in there for good luck. This was only a finish, and I'm very sure that they used my so-called syrup sherry that I now newly classified. Syrup sherry, sulfur sherry, very good sherry, and there are other things that I'm not always fond of. Yep, it's syrup sherry. It's got a little bit of grape, it's got a little bit of a malt, it's got a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of wood. Not bad. Now, this was actually part of a tasting set that I did with about 50 of my super fans. So what we did is we had 6 different bottles of Highland malts. We had first voted on which of the Highland malts we'd like to have. It had to be under 65 euros. It had to be under 50% ABV, and so the new Royal Brackla 12 was also in the fold in the tasting set, and it didn't do that excellent, to be honest. I mean, Caledonia from Edradour was in there, and a few other things that just blew it away. But it was okay. We had expected and hoped to have more, but it was just okay. So let's see what it does today on the nose. All right, and now the Glenfarclas. Okay, the Glenfarclas always had a little bit more of a sour moment, a little bit more of a wood, old wood moment. Here, we have that raisin goodness. Let's try it, 46%. Very nice. Touches of astringency, touches of tannins, a little bit of bitterness towards the end. And it just, oh, okay, good, and it drops off. There's not that much of a complex finish that we had hoped and expected. Yes, it is a 12-year-old, but still, you can expect a little bit more. Um, I do have the 18, also in the new label and design. I actually like the tin. I like the way it's laid out. The back is somewhat clean, well done. QR codes. The 12 is in the blue. Over here we have the nice little blue strip. Here we have the blue as well, royal blue, and that. So I have not talked very much about Royal Brackla, because it's not something I've had very much, to be honest. There were not very many bottlings of it beforehand. So the distillery was actually started in 1812. And then let's just skip ahead here. 1964, it was refurbished, opened 2 years later. 1970, 2 new stills were actually, they were increased. So you have 2 pairs of still each, so they're running at capacity. They have capacity of 4.1 million liters, and they're doing basically 4 million liters, which doesn't leave much time for any type of maintenance or holidays. So what did happen is 1985, the distillery was mothballed. Why? One of my theories at the moment that I picked up was a lot of the oil powered distilleries were mothballed in the 80s because of the gas prices. The oil prices shot up. Natural gas was the best way to go. If you could not have natural gas there, they just mothballed them. Production is once again resumed in 1991. In the 90s, the United Distillers take over. And then what happens is, even in 1997, the UDV spends more, that's United Distillers Vin something, became Diageo, spends more than 2 million on improvements and refurbishing. And then Bacardi actually buys Dewar's from Diageo. And since this is one of the lead malts and Dewar's, they actually in 1998 also bought the distillery. Yay! So that's the way things go. Let's take a look at the Glenfarclas here. A little bit more wood focused, a little bit more wood heavy here. What I'm doing is I'm just making room here for my second dram that I'm going to compare it to. Also a 12-year-old, this time the Glendronach. I also have an Auchentoshan 12 here. I have a Bunnahabhain 12. I have a Strath Islet 12. I could actually do a little tasting myself here, but I'm not going to do that. So let's pour a little bit of the Glendronach. It still says on the tin, unchilled, filtered, no color added. The bottle never had it. Oh yeah, much better. On the nose, they're somewhat similar. All right, pour a little bit more and then give my final essay. Good cork, by the way, as well. Has a nice feeling. Nice bottle. Even the bottle has here, you can, the 1812 in the bottle at the bottom. So in the glass, I like that. Up at the top, we have Royal Brackla. Also in the beautiful bottle. It has a nice feel, has a somewhat heavy glass bottom to it. It does have a certain style. It does have a certain quality to it. Yet, I don't know, I'm really ready to pay 50 euros for at the moment for a 12-year-old whiskey, even though it is non-chilled filtered, no color added, age statement, and 46%. Over here, I have age statement, non-chilled filtered, no color added in the old version with 43%. Over here, I have the, what am I? I'm at 43% as well, 12 years old. Much cheaper, 38 euros, 50 euros, 60 pounds, 65 euros in Paris. That really does hurt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reduce this down to 43%. Just give it a fair, I can reduce this quicker than I can jack this up in volume. Not bad at all. And it has a little bit of a kick at the end with that wood tannins, with that almost like a chocolatey mocha type of moment. The raisins are there. Actually, with a tad little bit of water, it turns into something that's a slightly more enjoyable moment. So I'm going to give this a C++, B minus. Can I give it a B? C++, all right? Because this is the B minus over here. The Royal Brackla has more mouthfeel, by the way. This is a little bit watery, but it has a much, much better finish. The finish is there. It expands. There's duration. There's actually a beautiful, beautiful echo in my mouth here of that sherry, that oloroso, the Pedro Jimenez, the malt, the wood, everything here together. It's just kind of echo, 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 echo. Here it's just like, okay. It's like somebody turned off the power. It's just basically gone. And so I must admit that I like the flavor profile of the Glendronach 12 a little bit better. So this would be my B minus minus, C++. This is my C+. If it weren't for the price, I would actually give it a fairly good mark, but I think 50 euros is a little bit too much, therefore a C minus on price. All right, so much better than the predecessor, I must admit. Bacardi, you're doing good stuff. Stephanie, you're doing good stuff. I'm looking forward to further things. Keep them up. I'm really looking forward to the 18-year-old. If it's going to be even half as good as I hope it should be, that would be fantastic, and we're going to see what's going to happen. All right, so tell me, what is your price tag where you feel comfortable paying it for a 12-year-old, 46%, non-chilled filtered, no color added, sherry single malt Scotch whiskey? I'm very comfortable with paying 40 euros. At 50 euros, I get a little bit itchy, and at 30 euros, it's like, okay, is it on sale? Why is it so cheap? So, personal preference. What is your personal preference there? Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for liking. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for sharing and telling others about this crazy guy over in Europe tasting a lot of whiskey you'd never see. Royal Brackla, you should be able to see. The Glendronach 12, I hope you have seen. And the Glenfarclas 12 is not a secret either. So, thank you very much. All the best to you. Whiskey Jason. See you soon. Bye-bye.